like, I have no idea. And I just had nowhere to be. I remember you from yesterday.
Thinking, why would you come here if you didn't know you? So.
You'd be surprised.
You would be surprised. I've done lots of conventions where I've asked that question, and I don't know why I ever asked it in the first place. And a few people went,
people want to learn.
I'm like, what do you, why? They had no answers, none. They just like mute. So I said, well, I hope you'll. Then I tell them about myself, where I'm from, what I've done, which I can do today.
Sure, go ahead.
If I can give you a short synopsis. Well, first of all, give yourselves a hand for being here. How many for you is it your first day? So you've all been here for at least 2 days? Or 3?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you made it, and this is Q&A with Quinton Flynn. I'm Quinton Flynn. You'll provide the Q's, I'll provide the A's, or I might switch it around. You never know. So originally I'm from, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and grew up in Northeast Ohio, outside of Cleveland, in an area called Mayfield Village, a nice little hub. Got into, probably like many of you, loved cartoons at a young age, and movies and music, and you know, went to school as we do, and eventually I got into theater because a buddy of mine's older brother was in theater in high school, and he said, "Man, we should, you know, we should audition for the play." And I go, "I don't know, I want to." I'm a little shy. He's like, "No, it's gonna be fun." I go, "I'm really not sure." He goes, "My brother says it's amazing." I go, "Yeah, but," he goes, "there's girls." I said, "I'm in." So that's how that started, and then I did my first play, and I loved it. It was awesome, and the director was really great, but of course sometimes he was really stern, and so, you know, you just learned how to take direction, what to do, what not to do, and it's a starting point for anyone who wants to get into acting. You know, somebody will ask me, how do you get into voiceover? Well, I eventually took voiceover workshops, but I started in high school. I did theater. And by my senior year, I also had a rock and roll band because, well, pretty much the same reason I got into theater, girls. And no, I also loved rocking out. It was just so much fun. And so over the years into college, I did the same thing, music, theater. I studied radio, television, and film. And then one summer, during a break, I saw an ad in the paper, and there was a local news celebrity whose face was there, and it said voiceover workshops for voice acting. It's like, what is that? You know? And as a kid, I used to do impressions because there were these impressionists on TV who I marveled at. They go way back. These guys, Frank Gorshin, Rich Little, who's a Canadian, John Biner, Fred Travelina were the 4 main guys who were always on the talk shows. And they blew me away with their impressions. And so even at a young age, I was doing impressions of these impressionists' impressions. And you know, there was a late, great talk show host, Johnny Carson, who I loved. And so as a little kid, I was doing, okay, on our show tonight, we've got, to my left, Axel. Of course, Axel didn't exist back then. Whoever did is, you know, who I would do. And then I was into the Beatles, you know, so I was doing Paul McCartney. And I said, Paul, woo, good stuff, yeah. If you never heard of me, you might know that I'm the guy that Kanye West discovered. Yeah. So, like that, and I took this workshop and I found out about acting for voiceover, which is just a different set of skills than acting for stage, which is more broad, or television, which is a little smaller, and film, which is the tiniest of all, because the camera's right up on you and the screen is enormous. And then for voice acting, it's really a combination of all forms of acting, depending on whether or not it's a comedy or a drama, and what they want. So after taking those workshops, about 10 months out of college, I was doing sound production for live rock and roll bands. I was playing with my band, and my dad was like, yeah, you got an honors degree from Kent State University. Get a job, buddy boy. And those were his words. So my cousin wanted to move to LA to become a rock star. It was like the late 80s hair metal phase. You know, he's like, I want to be in Poison. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I need a vacation, let's go. So for me, it turned out to be a permanent residency. I never left Los Angeles, and I started my way into the business there, doing everything you could do. Extra work, production work, stage, music. And along the way, I took an animation workshop and found out more about this, again, voiceover industry. And it was so appealing to me that I made that my focus, and I thought, well, as far as TV and film and music goes, I'll just kind of put those to the side and we'll see what happens here. And then little by little it started working, and I booked, gosh, what was one of the first things I booked was Timon and the Adventures of Timon and Pumbaa. Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. Come on, Pumbaa, let's go eat some grubs. And then I went on to do Johnny Quest and the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Come on, Dad, we gotta go find Bandit. Dad? Haji? Dad, where's Haji? Johnny, he's probably working at the local 7-Eleven. Then I went on to the Fantastic Four, which was a Marvel comic, and I loved Marvel as a kid, so I got to be the Human Torch. Flame on! And then eventually down the line, I got to be Spider-Man, who was my all-time favorite hero as a kid. And as far as early anime goes, before we knew the word anime, there was Kimba the White Lion and Speed Racer, and those were dubbed into English. And so I loved Speed as a kid, not the drug. The actual cartoon. And then Kimba the White Lion, which, if you don't know anything about it, it turns out the Lion King was based on. And if you were at my panel yesterday or the day before, I was talking about Kimba. The way they did the animation, it was very odd at the time. Kimba actually didn't move. Kimba stayed in the same place, and Kimba's paws and back feet would go like this. And the rest of the earth and the background would pass behind and underneath Kimba, which means apparently Kimba was spinning the earth. A very powerful white lion. So that was bizarre to me. And then as my career went along, I did find these auditions for this genre called anime, which is Japanese, obviously, and then dubbed into English. And then eventually video games started needing voice actors for acting. And then it started dramatizing that. And gosh, years passed, and that became more and more and more. And so I went on to Naruto, where I played Iruka Sensei, Zatch Bell, Digimon Data Squad. And then in the video game world, Metal Gear, where I played Raiden, Axel, and Kingdom Hearts. I guess I should wait for applause breaks. So I played Axel in Kingdom Hearts. Really, you should. Raiden in Metal Gear.
I got something for this.
Uh-oh. You got a loose cannon.
You're not gonna play what I think you're gonna play.
This is great. Oh, hang on.
It's funny when you wait for something like this.